Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As always, my name is Anna, and today we're actually going to be doing things a little different this week. So normally, or as I've been doing, I've been uploading mainly on Fridays and having Minecraft Fridays. Well, this week I had my scheduling off. I thought this week was going to be the inauguration, and that's what I was planning on covering on Friday. Unfortunately, though, that's not the case. It's not till next week, so I had to come up with something here for this week. So this week we're actually going to be going ahead and doing a True Crime Tuesday, and today we are actually going to be diving into the case of Michelle Carter. Now, if you're not familiar with who Michelle Carter is, she's actually the person that was convicted in the suicide of Conrad Roy. As always, any resources that I use for this video, it will be down in the description, and let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, so just to go over some basic information on these two. Conrad, his official name Conrad Roy III. He was born on September 12th of 95. He is originally from Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, and sadly he did pass by suicide on July 13th of 2014, which would have made him 18 years old. Now, Conrad had suffered from social anxiety and depression. He was hospitalized in like a psych facility. This was 2 years before his death, and he was on medication, so he had that going for him. Now, he graduated from Rochester Regional High School with honor roll. He liked to play basketball. He was on crew. He ran track. He was also accepted into Fitchburg State University for business. So sadly, he wouldn't be able to go to university since he did pass via suicide on July 13th of 2014. But it is good to see that he was accepted into university, because it to me, it kind of shows me that he had ideas, he had plans, and sadly those plans were never taken care of because of Michelle Carter. Now, Michelle Carter, she was born on August 11th of 1996. She's currently 24 years old, and she was born in Plainville, Massachusetts, and from what I was able to research, she was actually raised, though, in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. Now, Michelle did suffer also from mental health issues, so when she was about 8 or 9 years old, she did develop an eating disorder. She would self-harm. She did attend counseling for this, and she was on psych medication, so she was getting help. Now, she also attended King Philip Regional High School. Now, Michelle Carter, she was ultimately convicted of involuntary manslaughter on August 3rd of 2017 for the death of Conrad. Now, like I mentioned earlier, links and more detailed videos of this case are going to be in the description down below. I'm mainly just going to be giving my opinion on the overall timeline of the case itself. Also, another thing that I want to touch is whether or not Michelle's privilege is kind of showing in this case, because young, white, okay looking girl, like, I mean, it could be possible. Now, first thing I want to note though, in this case, is this was a case like no other. There was no other case that had been close to this, so this was the first. So of course there would be confusion on how things should be handled, what should happen. And another thing that I do want to note is that detectives did a good job, in my opinion, seeing that there was something there, that this wasn't just a regular suicide. Clearly these two had been in a relationship together, were friends, and if I'm being completely honest, mental health issues can in some rare cases bring people together, because the other person, they know what you're going through, they've possibly been there before. But in this case, that relationship it did more harm than good, and ultimately it was not a good relationship. It's a relationship that, in my opinion, should have never happened. Now, I do want to go over the timeline of this case, but I'm going to be going over the timeline of the case after Conrad has already passed. So this is going to be everything after July 13th of 2014. Okay, so Conrad dies July 13th, 2014. 2 months later, Michelle puts together a softball game in honor of Conrad. But keep in mind, while all of this is happening, police are still behind the scenes. They're working on whether or not they even have a case. They're getting their evidence together, and you'll see it all in the timeline. But anyways, September 13th, 2014, Michelle puts together the softball game. She calls it Homers for Conrad. Now, this is held at Plainville Athletic Leagues. So this girl wants to put together a softball game, like to honor her late boyfriend. Here's the kicker though. Notice where I said it was being held, not in Mattapoisett, where Conrad was from. No, it's in Plainville, where she's from, where her family is, where her friends are. Now, another thing to note too is that we all have like a best friend. So Conrad's best friend was Tom Gamble. Now, Tom ends up hearing about the event. He messages Michelle about it, and Michelle starts to get possessive of the game, like saying that she wants it in her place, that she can't move it to Mattapoisett, where Conrad was from, where Conrad's family is, or anything like that. So to Michelle, I'm thinking it's like her baby. She's thinking of this as like her baby. Now, he begins to ask questions because she's very, very hesitant, like she doesn't want to move it. So he starts asking questions like, who even are you to Conrad? Because I didn't even know you existed. Now, what this says to me is that she was pretty much someone who either Conrad didn't take seriously, or he pretty much wanted to hide her. Because I mean, who doesn't tell someone about the person that they're seeing or even talking to? So that kind of was a little bit weird to me. But nonetheless though, on October 2nd of 2014, Michelle, she's questioned by Fairhaven police regarding his death. And then 4 months later, on February 5th of 2015, she gets indicted as a youthful offender on a charge of involuntary manslaughter by the Bristol County Grand Jury. Now, the Bristol County DA, his name is Thomas M. Quinn. He recuses himself from the case because of a familial relationship with the victim's family. So he, in other words, he's like related to a family member from Conrad's side. Now, he states that he's not going to have any role in the matter. Now, it turns out that he's actually a third cousin of Conrad. So pretty much she gets arraigned the next day, and bail is set at $2,500. Now, premise of this is that she cannot have any internet access unless it's for school, no social media, no texting unless it's her mom and dad. So the DA in this case was Thomas Quinn, like I said. Well, he was related. He turns out to be Conrad's third cousin, but he does recuse himself from the case. But the defense takes this as an opportunity to motion the court to remove the case from the DA's office altogether and assign it to a special prosecutor. This was requested on April 2nd of 2015, but the judge denies it June 4th of 2015. I'm thinking probably because he recused himself. They didn't have to ask him or anything like that. So fast forward to September 3rd of 2015. The prosecutors argue that Carter has opened a Twitter account. And keep in mind, this violates the terms of her release. So in my opinion, she should have been put back in jail after this, but she wasn't. Defense writes it off, calls it ridiculous, all this stuff. Now, moving ahead a couple of weeks to September 22nd, the judge denies a motion to dismiss her case altogether, saying that the text messages exchanged between Michelle and Roy provided the necessary probable cause for the grand jury. So what she cites is where Michelle tells Roy to get back in the truck as being sufficient for probable cause. So basically they're saying that they can't throw out the case because this is the only thing that the grand jury was able to successfully keep in mind to get the indictment to begin with. So come November 30th of 2015, Taunton Juvenile Court Judge Lawrence Moniz continues the case until January 21st because the defense keeps appealing the other judge's decision. So he's going to go ahead and appeal it to the State Supreme Judicial Court. So this happens on July 1st of 2016. Now keep in mind, we're already heading into 2 years after he's died. So the State Supreme Court upholds the indictment, so they're not going to let her get away with this. She's going to have to go to court. So they deny it. Now, after this, from July of 2016 to July of 2017, the defense, like I mentioned, they kept submitting motions, they kept getting them denied, things like this, like they were putting in motions for like suppressing statements, getting drug experts, all of these things were being denied. Now, keep in mind, this case was originally scheduled to start in December, but since the court had to hear 22 defense motions and the suppression motion finally in February 3rd of 2017, the trial gets moved to March 6th, from March 6th. So they went from December to March 6th to now June 5th. Then June 5th comes along and Michelle waives a trial jury and the case turns into a bench trial. Now, if you're not familiar with what a bench trial is, basically there's no jury to it. It's just yourself, the prosecutor, and a judge. Judge is basically the jury. You just got to convince one person. So now the trial lasted 10 days, ending June 16th of 2017 with a guilty verdict and a set date of August 3rd of 2017 for sentencing. After this, the defense asked the judge to keep her out on bail while they appeal to the Supreme Courts and such. So he says, okay, do what you got to do. That gets granted. Now, we all know that she ends up getting 15 months and 5 years probation. Doesn't even have to start her time until February 11th of 2019 because the defense, like I said, they want to appeal. Once her appeal was denied and she had no other option, she had to do this time. Only then does she start her sentence. Now, let's take a moment to digest that. In the state of Massachusetts, someone convicted of involuntary manslaughter, which is what they were charging her with, could serve up to 20 years. This girl got 15 months of jail and 5 years probation. And on top of that, she ended up getting early release because of, and I'm gonna air quote this, good behavior. Only after the U.S. Supreme Court denied even hearing her case did this good behavior come up and she was able to get out 3 months early. So I'm at a loss for words at this point, but shouldn't the numbers be reversed? Like, in my opinion, shouldn't it have been more fair for her to get 5 years and 15 months probation? That sounds a lot better to me for someone who ultimately caused another person their life. Now, another thing too that I want to touch on is the time that she actually served. Now, according to People magazine, Carter was set free at 9:30 a.m. on January 23rd, picked up by her parents and her attorney. Now, the kicker here is that she now begins a 5-month period of probation. What the heck happened to 5 years? Everything else that I researched said that it was 5 years probation. If you can find something that says differently, please send it my way. Be really interested to read that. But she begins serving her time February 2019 and ultimately only ended up serving 11 months and 12 days. Her initial release date would have been May 5th had she served the full 15 months. I mean, what kind of BS is that? Then a spokesperson for the sheriff's office says that she was considered to be a model inmate. Like, I just can't. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do believe people can change behind bars, but this girl should have served her full time at the very least. And that's all I'm trying to say. This entire time, she was on trial. She was never in jail. Even after she was sentenced, she remained on bail while she appealed. And then when she can't get away with this, that she's forced to do her time, she gets out 3 months early because of good behavior. This girl had it way too easy, in my opinion. I just truly believe that this is all because of her race. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to play that race card, but this screams to me privilege. Because, I mean, to be completely honest, had this been any other race, it would not have gone out the way it did. It would not have worked out the way it did. But again, this is all just my opinion. This is all just what I'm thinking that's going on in my head, but I can't anymore with this. I just can't. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, this girl has gotten away with so much, in my opinion. But it is what it is at this point. She's done her time and now she's out free. So I'm more interested though in what you guys think of this. So go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think she got enough time? Do you think she didn't get enough time? Should she have served her full 15 months? But I'm gonna go ahead and be ending the video or podcast, whatever we're calling this, here. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe. Please let me know in the comments if you do like videos like this, because I enjoyed researching this and would definitely love making more videos like this if that's what you guys like. And like I said, be sure to subscribe for more. I'll see you all next week for Minecraft Fridays, where I will be going over the inauguration. So I will talk to you all later. Be safe, wear a mask, and stay safe. Bye.